Hi there, Stephanie from Fork and Knife Teacher, and I'm going to walk through with you today my coffee note listed on my Teachers Pay Teachers store. Okay, so coffee. Coffee is the number one most ordered drink in Canada. I believe it's pretty close in the US as well as the number one most ordered drink, that is after water. So it is important for your students to know about coffee if they're going into like hotel, hospitality, restaurant, any of that industry. Coffee is a big part of the industry. So here is a note, and I'm going to zoom in on it because it's a little, maybe one more zoom here. That's too much. um, so coffee is, oh, now I can't zoom. Here we go. So coffee. Um, the process of making coffee, coffee beans, where they come from. This is a little bit of a deep dive into it. So it starts as a small fruit. Arabica and Robusta are kind of the two species of coffees. And then where it kind of a little bit about where it's grown and why that's important. And I give you some ideas here of famous growing areas, kind of like the well-known places. And then there's also a process that coffee goes through when after it's harvested. And the coffee process here is, that it's harvested by hand, cleaned, fermented, hulled, and then you get your green coffee. Now, green coffee is then what normally is what's shipped all around the world. And then the roasters at the different locations roast it, blend it, grind it, and brew it. That there's a roast scale, that there's a whole thing about grinding it, the size of the grind. And then I've included a bunch of pictures of different brewing methods here. So we've got an espresso machine, a mocha pot, drip machine, or drip coffee, a siphon press, a Chemex, and a French press. So that is the first page of the, of the coffee coffee note. Okay, and then a little bit more about the different brewing methods. So about the French press, the process, the Chemex, the drip coffee, and then into espresso brewing here. And then some of the coffee lingo. So, the drinks, going through what drinks are made with a shot of espresso, and then drinks made with, like, I call it coffee. Like if you're doing like a full, like just plain cup of coffee, or you can have a cafe au lait, or a creme cafe, which is coffee with hot milk, or an iced coffee. Of course, so much of this is adapted, right? You can do a shot of espresso over ice and add cream, or you can have really like a double strong cup of coffee and dilute it with ice. There's some variations you can have in there, but I wanted to kind of give some of the little bit more official terminology for coffee, and how to create different drinks. So then at the bottom here, I have a little bit of a visual on how to make cappuccinos, lattes, and then a shot of espresso. Right? So there you go. There's our note on coffee.